Good evening, everyone,
Good
and
evening.
thank you for attending this important meeting. My name is Jyotishna, and I will be facilitating today's discussion as the presenter. With me is Ms. Astha, our nurse unit manager who oversees staff well-being and day-to-day clinical operations, and Ms. Ashmita, our key organizational stakeholder responsible for financial governance, strategic planning and accreditation compliance for rural community hospital. We are here today because our medical surgical unit is facing severe staffing shortages, raising patient safety risks, emotional exhaustion and increasing moral distress among our nursing team. This is become more than an operational problem now. It is now an ethical and organizational crisis requiring immediate collaborative action. Before we move forward, I want to reaffirm the mission and vision of the rural community hospital. Our mission is to deliver safe, high quality and community focused healthcare that respects dignity, equity and compassion. Our vision is to provide safe, compassionate and accessible healthcare that meets the needs of our rural community. These commitments must guide every decisions we make today. The medical surgical team is currently operating at an unsafe 8:1 nurse patient ratio. This has directly led to increased patient falls, delayed observations, medication delays and a 25% turnover due to burnout and moral distress. Nurses are reporting guilt, fear and moral strains, believing they cannot provide the standard of care expected from them. Astha, would you shed some light on this?
Thank you, Jyotishna. I want to speak honestly. My team is emotionally exhausted. Last week, one of our most experienced nurses sat in her car for 20 minutes, trembling before her shift, because she was terrified she might miss something critical. Another nurse stayed 2 unpaid hours after her shift to complete documentation and told me she no longer remembers what normal feels like.
Okay.
These are not isolated issues. Burnout, emotional distress, communication, breakdowns, and rising tension between staff and become the norm. Junior nurses who should be building confidence are frightened and overwhelmed. Senior nurses, like backbone of our unit, are shutting down emotionally.
Okay.
Last week, one of our strongest nurses froze over a medication chart, staring at it for several minutes. When I asked her, if she's okay, she said, "I can't think straight anymore. I don't trust my own judgment. This is not a performance issue. This is an emotional collapse."
Yes, it is.
Tension among staff is escalating. Nurses are snapping, apologizing, and crying in the medication room because they feel guilty and overwhelmed. And I must be honest, we are one step away from a critical incident, something severe and irreversible that harms a patient and traumatizes a nurse.
So before I continue with the governance requirements, I must disclose a serious near miss event that was raised during the last border risk review. So 2 weeks ago, a deteriorating patient in medical surgical showed early warning signs such as tachycardia, dropping blood pressure and dropping blood sugar levels and altered mental state. So the rapid response call was delayed by 18 minutes, not due to negligence but because the nurse was covering 7 other patients.
Okay.
So when the response team arrived, the patient was severely compromised. The review panel concluded that the delay was a system failure, not a staff failure.
Definitely it's a system failure, yes.
Yes. So if there had been just a few more minutes of delay, this would have become a sentinel event, an irreversible harm or much more worse to it. So the patient safety committee has demanded an urgent action plan explaining why staffing issues were not escalated sooner. Asta?
Yes, the nurses were devastated. She apologized repeatedly, even though everyone reassured her it wasn't her fault. She told me if something had happened to that patient, I would have never forgiven myself. She cried in my office and was shaken for days. This is the emotional reality of working under unsafe conditions.
Yes, that is true. So this near miss is a clear warning for us. We cannot wait until a sentinel event forces our hand. Our missions and visions require proactive actions to prevent harm, not reactive apologies after it occurs. This outcome shows that our staffing model is no longer safe or ethical. This has created an accountability gap. Our values emphasize safety and high quality care, but currently staffing levels compromise these values. According to the Nursing Council Code of Conduct, the nurse must be supported to provide safe care. So my clarification today is that patient safety must be protected and leadership at all levels share responsibilities to resource a safe environment. Before we discuss solution, I want to hear your perspectives. Our mission says patients first, but currently the conditions in the ward does not say that. It's telling us something else. So right now it just feels it's unauthentic to frontline staff, or it feels authentic for them. What is the reality in here, Asta?
Thank you, Jyotishna. Staff feel that the mission does not match the workload. They want to provide safe care, but when they are caring for 8 patients at once, they feel stretched beyond their limits. Morale is low, burnout is increasing, and sick leave is rising.
Yes, I hear your urgency, and I do not doubt the emotional strain on your team. But I must be equally clear from the governance, financial, and accreditation standpoint. Last month's patient safety audit classified medical surgical as a high risk area. External auditors or accreditation assessors may arrive without notice, and at present we do not have enough documented evidence to justify our staffing ratio, which actually should be 1:5, not 1:8. So currently we now face reputational risk. Community concerns are rising, such as families have reported long delays, unanswered call bells, and nurses appearing overwhelmed. Secondly, clinical risk. Several near misses indicate that we are dangerously close to causing preventable harm or much more to it. Thirdly, accreditation risk. The accreditation body has issued an early warning inquiry without corrective action. We risk conditional accreditation or restriction on service delivery. So, the board has requested an explanation for why corrective measures have not been initiated yet. They expect evidence, not anecdotes. So, please understand that this is not reluctance, but this is a legal and financial and also accreditation driven requirement. So I must be able to present defensible evidence to the board because without documentation, which is the main proof in nursing clinical side, my hands are actually tied, but with documentation, I can fully advocate for the urgent resources your staff desperately needs.
Thank you both. What we are hearing represents the full ethical dilemma: vulnerable staffing, high patient risk, and strict governance obligation. Each perspective is valid and highlights why immediate collaboration is essential. So now I would like to propose 4 solutions. The first solution is unsafe shift documentation begins today. Why we should do that is to create a legal evidence, support risk escalation, and empower Ashmita to defend emergency funding request to the board.
I agree with that plan and will ensure all unsafe shifts are documented accurately starting today.
Solution 2, pause non-essential capital spending. Why we should do that is to free immediate funds for staffing support, priority safety over non-urgent purchases, and align with our mission and vision. Solution 3, redirect funds into temporary nursing support so that we can, the importance of that is to stabilize staffing, reduce burnout, improve patient outcomes, and prevent turnovers. Solution 4 is to establish a safe staffing group. Why we should do that is to ensure shared governance, transparency, and long-term planning aligned with organizational values.
Yes, Jyotishna, I will gladly join this working group. I actually want to be part of a long-term solution that supports staff and improves patient safety.
I'm happy to join as well. Involving frontline insight will help us address real challenges and develop workable solutions. Plus, I support all proposed solutions. I will personally begin unsafe shift documentation today and brief the team immediately.
So with proper documentation, I will begin a full budget review within 1 week. I will explore all options and including temporary staffing, regional partnerships, and financial reallocation.
Thank you both. This action realigns our decision with the mission and visions of the Rural Community Hospital. So, to summarize our agreed actions today, documentation of unsafe shifts begins immediately. Ashmita will conduct a budget review within 1 week to redirect non-essential capital fundings for temporary staffing. The safe staffing working group begins today. I would also like to support the staff well-being. Moral distress is real and the Employees Assistance Program is available. Please encourage staff to use if needed.
Yes.
Before we close, I want to thank both of you for your honesty and your commitment to finding a solution. I will personally assure that today's actions are followed through. Let's continue working together to ensure our patient first mission is reflected in our staffing decisions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jyotishna.